Solving an equation like the one in front of you may look simple, but I'm amazed at the number of ways people can get this wrong. I'm going to show you a couple ways that's done, and at the end, I'm going to show you how to do it properly. The most common mistake I see students make is this. They add 12 to both sides. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other. And by adding 12, it cancels out the negative 12 from the left side. So what we get is we get negative 4x, but here's where the mistake is made. Negative 16 plus 12, sometimes people will tell me it's negative 28. Well, that's wrong, but let's keep going with that if that was the step they did. And they would then divide by negative 4 to get the coefficient in front of the x to cancel out. And we get x equals 7. Now, as I already said, that negative 28 is not correct, so that means x equals 7 is not correct. That's the first common misconception. Here's another thing I see sometimes. Sometimes students will try to divide by negative 12, think that's going to cancel out the negative 12. Now, this is wrong because dividing is not the opposite operation of subtracting. It should be addition. But let's continue the example assuming students made this mistake at the beginning. Now, dividing by negative 12, whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other. And so they go ahead and they divide this by negative 12. Now, that's the same thing as canceling out the negatives, and you get 16 over 12, which we can simplify more in a moment. And then on the other side, we say it's negative 4x. Well, if that's the case, then we go ahead and we divide by negative 4. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other. And we get x equals 16 over 12 divided by negative 4. And we can write that as a multiplication statement, saying it's times 1 over negative 4. And then, like I did in a previous video, we could go ahead and cancel out the 16 and the 4, and we get 4 and negative 1. And so this would give us 4 over 12. 4/12 is the same thing as 1/3, and there's a negative there, so that's negative 1/3. Again, that's not correct because this very first step of dividing by negative 12 was incorrect. Here's how to do this properly. So what we want to do is we want to add 12 to both sides. That's correct. But make sure that when we go ahead and add 12 to negative 16, we're thinking about it in terms of a number line. I like to draw a vertical number line, kind of like temperature, because if I have 0 here, then I have negative 16 down here. And if I'm adding 12, what I end up doing is I end up being at negative 4. So I end up getting negative 4 on the right side and negative 4x on the left side. And what that gives me is it gives me, when I divide by negative 4, it gives me a correct answer of x equals positive 1. The other way to know if you're correct is actually go ahead and sub that answer back into the left side and the right side. So if we do that, the left side is negative 4 times 1 minus 12. Well, that would give me negative 4 minus 12, which is equal to negative 16. And the right side is just negative 16. And so because those are the same, we have the correct solution.